Good morning, Professor, and good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to present about Liberia, state development and analysis. This presentation is for the course International Political Development. In this presentation, I will explain Liberia development. I will talk about its background, its main challenges, and possible solution. I will also use the political development series that we have learned in this course to explain why this problem happens and how Liberia can improve. I also hope that after the presentation, everyone will have a better understanding of Liberia and its development journey. Let's begin my content slide. Before I start, let me explain the structures of my presentation. So first, I will introduce Liberia. I will explain where it is located, its history, and its economy. Second, I will discuss the main development challenges. These include weak government institutions, dependence on foreign countries, environmental pollution, and gender inequality. Finally, I will present several recommendations. These recommendations are based on different development theories such as modernization, dependency, Marxist, post-developmentalism, feminist, and also the cooperation with the NGOs and private foundations. At the end, I will summarize the main points of the presentation. Now go to introductions to Liberia. So first, let us learn about Liberia. Liberia is a country in West Africa. It shares borders with Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Cote d'Ivoire. On the south, it has a long coastline along the Atlantic Ocean. The capital of Liberia is Monrovia, and it is also the largest city in the country. Most government offices and business are located there. Liberia has a population about 5 million people. English is an official language, but many local languages are also spoken in Liberia. Liberia has a very special history. It was founded by formerly enslaved African Americans who returned from the United States in the 19th century. Because of this history, Liberia became one of the first independent republics in Africa. However, the country experienced two civil wars between 1989 and 2003. This war caused many deaths, destroyed roads, schools, hospitals, and government buildings, and also slowed the country development. This slide shows the locations and geographies of Liberia. Liberia has many natural resources. It has a tropical forest, river, fertile lands, and a long coastline. These natural resources are very important to agriculture, mining, fishing, and trade. The country location near the Atlantic City allow it to trade and many countries. This creates opportunity for economic growth. However, geography also creates challenges. Many rural areas are difficult to reach because roads are not well developed. During the rainy season, many roads become damaged or flooded. This makes transportation difficult for people and businesses. Because of the poor transportation, for farmers often cannot sell their product easily. Children may also have difficulty reaching school, and patients may struggle to survive or travel to hospitals. So, while Liberia has many natural advantages, better infrastructure is needed for support development. Now, let's talk about Liberia political system. Liberia is a democratic republic. This means that people choose their leaders through election. President is both head of state and head of government. The president works with other government institutions to make laws, manage the country. Since the end of the Civil War, Liberia has made good progress in democracy. The country has held several peaceful elections, and power has been transferred peacefully between leadership. This is an important achievement because political stability have attract investment and support development. However, Liberia still faces some political challenges. Government institutions are still weak. Some public offices do not have enough trained workers or financial resources. Also, corruption remains a problem in some sectors. These challenges reduce public trust and make development slower. Now, I will explain about the Liberia economy. Liberia is rich in natural resources. The country provides and produces iron ore, gold, diamonds, rubber, timber, and palm oil. These resources provide jobs and income for the country. Agriculture is very important because um, many people work as a farmers. Although Liberia has many natural resources, the economy still faces problems. Most of Liberia exports are raw material instead of using uh, finished products. The country exports resources to other countries. This means Liberia earns less money than countries that manufacture finished goods. The country also depends on foreign companies to invest in mining and other industry. Because of this, Liberia remains vulnerable when the world prices fall and when the foreign investors reduce their activities. This issue will be connected to dependency theory, which I will explain later in the presentation. Even though Liberia has many challenges, there are also positive signs. According to International Monetary Fund, Liberia economy is expected to continue growing. The country GDP is projected to grow because mining production is increasing. Construction projects also creates more jobs and people are spending more money. Another positive sign is that inflation has decreased. When inflation becomes lower, prices become more stable. This helps families manage their daily expenses more easily. The government is also improves financial management with support from international organizations such as African Development Bank. This reform have reduced illegal mining, improve public financial management, and control government debt. However, economic growth does not automatically mean that everyone benefits. Many people still live in poverty, especially in rural areas. This shows that economic growth must be combined with better education, healthcare, infrastructures, and good governance. Only then can develop improve the lives of all citizens. Now, we'll move to the second part of my presentation. Although Liberia has made a progress in recent years, it still faces many development challenges. The first challenge is weak institutions. Some government offices lack of trained workers and resources. The second challenge is dependence on foreign aid and foreign investment. This made the third economy less independent. The third challenge is environmental pollution, especially the past, the waste management and pollution from the mining activities. The fourth challenge is gender inequality. Many women still have fewer opportunities than the men in politics, education, healthcare, and employment. These problems are connected. Weak institutions make it harder to protect the environment, improve education, reduce poverty, and promote gender equality. In the next section, I will uh, explain about the institutional challenges. So, strong institutions are very important for the development of every country. Institutions, government ministry, public services, the legal system, and the local authority, they have provide service to make policies and solve problems. However, Sri Lanka has weak institutions. First, the government has limited administrative capacity. Many public offices do not have enough trained workers, modern equipment, or financial resources. Because of the government services are sometimes slow and less effective. Second, public services are still weak. Many people, especially those living in the rural area, have limited access to good schools, hospitals, clean water, and electricity. Third, Liberia has an infrastructure problem. Many roads are damaged. Electricity is not available in every area, and transportation is difficult during the rain season. This problem makes it harder for businesses to grow and for people to improve their qualities of life. Therefore, improving institutions should be one of the highest priority for Liberia. Another slide we focus on the second challenges is independency. Liberia depends heavily on foreign country for aid, investment, and international support. Many large companies that operate in Liberia are foreign companies, especially in mining and agriculture. They invest money and create jobs, but also take a large part of profit back to their own country. Liberia also exports mostly raw material such as iron ore and rubber instead of finished product. This means the country earns less money than countries that produce manufactured goods. Another problem is foreign aid. International organizations help Liberia by providing money and technical support. The assistance is useful, but if Liberia depends too much on foreign aid, it may become difficult to develop independence. Another dependency is that developing countries should strengthen their own industry and reduce reliance on richer countries. This will help Liberia become more economically independent. Besides dependency, Liberia faces several other development challenges. One major problem is poverty. Many families still struggle to meet their daily needs, especially in rural areas. Another challenge is unemployment. Many young people cannot find stable job offering finishing their school. Without employment, it becomes difficult for them to improve their lives. Education also remains a challenge. Although school enrollment has improved, many schools still lack of teachers, classrooms, and learning materials. Healthcare services also need improvement. Many hospitals does not have enough doctors, nurses, medicines, and medical equipment. This problem reduces the country human capital and slow long-term development. These challenges are connected to one another. For example, when education is weak, it's become difficult for people to find jobs. When healthcare is poor, workers become less productive because they are often sick. Limited infrastructure also makes transportation more expensive and slow business activity. All these factors increase poverty and reduce economic growth. Therefore, Liberia cannot solve only one problem at a time. The government needs a comprehensive development strategy that improves institutions, education, healthcare, infrastructure, and employment together. Now, I will discuss environmental pollution. Environmental pollution is an important because it affects people's health, natural resources, and also economic activities. Liberia produces about 1.5 million kilograms of waste every day. Unfortunately, most of this waste is not properly managed. Many people throw waste into the river or open areas. Plastic waste block draining system and cause flooding during the heavy rain. Air pollution is another problem. Many people use charcoal or wood for cooking, and vehicle emission also pollute the air. Mining activity create another environmental challenges. Chemical from mining can pollute rivers and drinking water, which affects both people and wildlife. If environmental pollution continues, it will harm agriculture, fishing, tourism, and public health. Therefore, better waste management and stronger environmental law are needed. The next challenge is gender inequality. Although women play an important role in society, they still face many difficulties in Liberia. For example, women hold only a small percentage of seats in parliament. This means women have less opportunity to participate in political decision making. Many women also experience domestic violence, which affects their safety and well-being. Another issue is child marriage. Some girls marry before the age of 18, which often prevent them from finishing school. Teenager pregnancies is also common, creating health and economic challenges for the young women. In addition, women spend much more time than men during the unpaid household work, such as cooking, cleaning, and caring children. This responsibility reduces their opportunity for education and employment. Improving gender equality will help Liberia develop faster because both men and women can contribute equally to society. Now I will begin discussing the recommendation. The first recommendation is based on modernization theory. Modernization theory says that countries develop by improving their institution, technology, education, and government system. For Liberia, this means strengthen public administration. The government should provide more training for civil servants so they can work more effectively. It should also improve transparency and reduce corruption. When public money is managed honestly, citizens gain more trust in the government. Another recommendation is that to strengthen local governments so they can provide a better services to community. Finally, Liberia should reduce its dependence on foreign experts by training more local professionals. This reform will create stronger institutions and support long-term development. The second recommendation for the development focuses on the human development. Human development believes that development is not only about economic growth, it also about improving the people's qualities of life. Therefore, Liberia should invest more in education. Better schools will have people develop skills for future jobs. The government should also improve healthcare by building more hospitals, training medical workers, and increasing access to medicines. Clean water and sanitation should be expanded, especially in rural communities because they have prevent disease. Finally, Liberia should use income from natural resources such as mining to support education, healthcare, and social services. When people are healthy, educated, and skilled, they can contribute more to the country's development. Now, I will explain a third recommendation, which is based on dependency theory. Dependency theory says that many developing countries depend too much on rich countries. They export raw material but import expensive finished products. Because of this, developing countries remain poor and cannot grow strongly. Liberia faces this problem today. The country exports products like iron ore, rubber, and wool, but it imports many manufactured goods. To reduce dependency, Liberia would support local industry. The government can protect local business by encouraging people to buy products made in Liberia. Another recommendation is to renegotiate agreements with foreign mining and rubber companies. This can help Liberia keep more profit from the natural resources. Liberia should also increase trade with different countries instead of depending only a few partners. This action will have build a stronger and more independent economy. The fourth recommendations from Marxist theory. Marxist theory focuses on equality and fair distributions of wealth. It says that natural resources should benefit all people, not only few company or wealthy groups. Liberia has many valuable resources, but many citizens still live in poverty. One recommendation is for the government to manage natural resources more carefully so that more benefits stay inside the country. The government can also invest mining income in education, healthcare, roads or infrastructure, electricity. Another idea is to create public employment programs. This program can give jobs to unemployment young people while they build schools, hospitals, and roads. If more people benefit from the country's resources, Liberia can reduce poverty and improve social equality. The fifth recommendation is based on the post-developmentalism. This theory says that every country should choose its own path to development instead of copying Western countries. For Liberia, this means paying more attention to local communities and local knowledge instead of focusing on only large industry. Liberia should also support small farmers and local businesses. Governments can encourage local food production to improve food security and reduce dependence on imported goods. Liberia can also promote traditional and environmentally friendly products instead of using the large amount of plastic packaging. This approach protects the environment and supports the local communities at the same time. Development should improve people's lives while respecting local culture and the natural resources. The sixth recommendation comes from feminist theory. Feminist theory says that women and men should have equal opportunity in society. Today, women in Liberia still face many challenges. They are underrepresented in politics, spend more time doing the unpaid household work, and have limited access to healthcare and in some areas. To improve gender inequality, the government can introduce the policies that encourage more women to become political leaders. It should also improve children's services so women have more opportunity to work and continue their education. Another important step is to stop children marriage and improve access to reproductive health care. When women receive equal opportunities, family becomes stronger and economy grows and society becomes more inclusive. Gender equality is not only women's issues, it is important for the development of the whole country. The final recommendations in cooperation with the NGOs and private foundations. NGO or non-governmental organizations play an important role in Liberia development. Organizations such as Save the Children, CARE, and International Rescue Committee support education, healthcare, and emergency assistance. Other NGOs such as Carter Center and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have improved healthcare, increased and decreased the preventions and research. These organizations also support women, children, and poor communities. However, the NGO cannot replace the government. The government should work together with NGO, local communities, and international partners. Good corporations will improve public services and have the Liberia achieve sustainable development more quickly. Now I will conclude my presentation. Liberia has made a good progress since the end of the Civil War. Its economy is growing, inflation has fallen, and democratic institutions have become more stable. However, Liberia still faces many important challenges. These include weak government institutions, dependence on foreign country, environment pollution, and gender inequality. Today, we look at these challenges using different potential development theory. Modernization theory teaches us that Liberia needs stronger institutions and better governance. Human development reminds us to invest in education, healthcare, and public services. Dependency theories show the importance of reducing reliance on foreign countries. Marxist theory focuses on reducing inequality and sharing the benefit of natural resources between the governments and the people. Post-development tourism encourages Liberia to follow its own development path based on the needs. And finally, the family theory reminds us that development cannot success without gender equality. In my opinion, no single theory can solve every problem. Liberia should combine these different ideas to create balanced and sustainable development. With stronger institutions, better education, equal opportunities, environmental protections, and responsible management of the natural resources, Liberia can build a better future for all its people. That brings me to the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for your attention and for listening. Thank you.